Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Enjoy the Goldilocks Productions present.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us this evening on In the Psychic Flow. I am your host, Carolan. We have a wonderful guest today with us, the acclaimed and wonderful Joanne Leo, Psychic Joanne Leo. Psychic Joanne Leo will be joining us this evening. She is the soul reader. She is from Florida and is one of the most stupendous and blockbuster readers I have ever met. She has a very unique style, and apparently my producer's telling me we're in Mercury retrograde again. So if I had a little pause there, I apologize. Joanne's website is psychicjoanneleo.com. You can reach her by email, or you can call her. Her number is 727-743-3400. Her email is psychicjoanneleo, Joanne with two N's and an E, Leo like the lion, @gmail.com. Now, Joanne does a miraculous and interesting blend of psychic numerology and she uses the tarot cards. So she's going to be joining us tonight to take your calls, and we have people queuing up already. So I'm very happy to hear that. Joanne, are you with us?
I am.
Oh, there you are. Thanks for waiting. We had a little technical glitch there. I'm told it's Mercury retrograde. I don't know too much about that, but that's what I'm being told. How are you tonight?
I'm very good. Well, Mercury retrograde causes electronic havoc.
Well, I think that's what's happening here. I wanted to mention, before we thank you for bearing with us, I wanted to mention we have a few events going on in Sarasota that I wanted to bring. Sarasota Center of Light, 7 to 9, $15. So please join us. And also, we have the delightful Joanne Leo, Psychic Joanne Leo, soul reader with us for private readings March 30th at the Sarasota Center of Light, Sarasota, Florida, at the Learning Center, which is across from the sanctuary of the church. She will be doing private readings 11 to 5 p.m. We are booking up. We have afternoon slots available, some. So please give me a call at 941-779-3971 to book your own appointment with Joanne. Those readings are 30 minutes long. They are $50. You will never need another reading again as long as you live. Joanne gives you everything. There is no need to call me. Well, maybe. If you want to talk to dead people, you would call me. But if you want to find out what's going on with your birth information, what is your blueprint, Joanne is the gal to call. Also, if you have a romantic situation, you can always call Joanne with the gentleman's or lady's date of birth and their birth name. And it reveals a ton of information to Joanne about this individual. It's better than having a background check done by the CIA, I'm telling you. This is the bomb. Joanne, thank you for being with us.
Wow, thanks for that wonderful highlight of what I do. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. What do you think is the most challenging aspect that people call you about? What is the most popular theme that they seem to need information about?
A couple of things. Most of them, or a majority of them, are usually have to do with family situations or relationships.
Mm-hmm.
A great deal, because, I do life coaching as well. So it's about getting your power back a lot of times. So and going from being, going from negativity to positive flow of life, so to speak, which I do have a particular order of how to do that. And I never ask anybody to do something that I haven't done myself to really kind of retool ourselves. So I think that's pretty much it, or they've come to a chapter in their life and they really need a leg up, so to speak.
Right. I would say, unless you're, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're not willing to make a change, I mean, you can call Joanne anyway and get the information, maybe sit on that until you decide to make the change. But one of the reasons I would call you is because I am ready. I'm frustrated. I'm done. I'm tired. I need to know what's really going on here. You know, I can't figure it out myself. Would that, calling you, to me, helps iron out those details and explains why you're banging your head up against the wall. You know,
well,
to me.
Yes, I truly believe that by the time they've reached that conjunction, you're absolutely correct. I don't believe in coincidences, so they find me. And they're ready. Usually when they get to that point, they're ready for some answers. They're ready to make changes. They really want to be able to figure it out. But they need like a direction.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I like your reading because, in particular, because it's so unique. You have your Schuster cards, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, that very few people still do that or have done it, and it's a unique blend of reading style. And your psychic numerology, which is all about, it's your blueprint. It's unique to that person, to your client. Nobody else has that, correct?
That's correct. I think what makes me selectively different is because of the combination that I do, nobody else does. And the Schuster cards, I don't know really of anybody that still reads Schuster, but it touches every area of her life because they're read astrologically, numerically, and psychically, all in the same layout. Mm-hmm. So it really is a great fit with why they call me the soul reader, because the psychic numerology, the name on your birth certificate and your birth date, is how you're registered in heaven. I'm the interpreter. And the great part about having your chart done or working with somebody that does psychic numerology like I do is that your birthday moves, so it's very predictive as much as cards. You can get a lot of information out of that, too, along with the name. And you've seen me do that just with somebody's first name and their birth date.
Oh, yes. In like 3 to 5 minutes I've seen you do it. And you know what I don't think people get is this is like the type of work that I do. I talk to your departed loved ones. I work with grieving families. So I do get some psychic impression, and I do get some guidance from those relatives and loved ones in spirit for you. But this is an interpretation of what they're giving me. I'm interpreting. What you have, it's black and white. This is it, folks. You can't fudge this stuff. This is these are your numbers. They don't change. This is it. Yeah. And, this is, it's like set in concrete almost. This is not that your future is set in concrete, but who you are and what makes you tick and that kind of thing is right there in front. It can't be messed up. So I don't know if people understand that. It's not, am I saying that correctly? It's so detailed.
Well, see, I know, and I treasure that you work on the other side because I don't. But if you really think about it, a soul never dies. So we live a lifetime. It's our blueprint. We design it when we're up in heaven. So we lived our last life, and we work through what we completed, what we missed, what we want to round out. And when we're ready, and our soul is ready to say, I'm ready to go back down to earth, we check the boxes. Our mother, our father, our siblings, our teachers, our schools, our jobs, our children, our mates, our lovers, our friends, because you have to understand life is just one big school to learn something. And it's your blueprint. I interpret the blueprint. And believe me, I hear this 9 out of 10 times. People will say spot on, oh, my God, how did you get that from that when they see me do a chart? because it really puts the pieces of their blueprint and their puzzle and stuff that they know that they'll say, I felt that, but I just, you pointed it out to me. It makes so much more sense. And so it's a real good guide because it's explained, as you know, you've experienced it. It explains what's in the here and the now and what it is that's been your stumbling blocks as well.
Well, I think that was a big help, and thank you for coaching me through those stumbling blocks. I appreciate that. And I want to make sure that people understand that, and I tell people, this is the only reading you will ever need. This is your personal thing. This is where you're going. You can go to 100 mediums, but you're not going to get this. If you want to speak to Dead Edna, call me. But if you want to know what life path you're on, you call Joanne. So I'm very pleased to do that. So with people queuing up, how do you feel? You want to take your first caller?
Absolutely. All they have to do is give me their first name and their birth date.
Okay, great. Let's take area code 305 is our first caller. Hi, welcome.
Hi, thank you. My birthday is June 28, 1951.
Okay.
And what did you say my name? My first name is Eileen.
Eileen?
Yes.
Is that correct? Yes. Well, I love it, Eileen, because you don't like to be told what to do, how to do it, where to do it, or when to do it. Is that right?
Pretty good.
Yeah. But I know that you're sensitive too, honey, and I know that you're a nurturer and you're very responsible and you're very kind, and sometimes you can tend to be a fixer. And what the people need to know out there, if you're fixing people, places, and things, you're going to wind up a victim because the person that you're trying to fix or the situation you're trying to fix, they're not going to do it.
I don't do that anymore. I stopped a lot of that.
Well, that's very healthy on your part. You're also very strong. You're also a survivor. You're also a quick study. Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, I learn things on my own between me and God. You know, God's my direct communicator all the time, so yes.
Yeah, I understand. God's my source too, so I get it. You have to be very, very careful karmically in your chart with alcohol and drugs because it affected your previous life. So
I don't do any in this life. I don't do any in this life.
Well, I know, because it was one of the things you put in your blueprint to overcome,
cool.
or to not experience it through other people. Because the lesson here is lick 'em or join 'em. So obviously you lick the problem.
I licked the problem. That's definitely true because I knew when I was a little girl that that was not my path, and anytime I would attract a mate, he usually had the problem, and I said, no more. I can't do this anymore because they never see my soul. They're always looking through a clouded window.
But on a soul level, let me explain that to you. That was really a test that you carried over from the previous lifetime to lick 'em or join 'em. And usually when you've gotten to that evolved part of the soul of saying, I'm not going to do that, or I'm not going to be the enabler, or I'm not going to be the fixer, you have graduated, darling, on a soul level.
Yay. Yeah, I'm at a lot of peace in my life right now.
Well,
probably the happiest I've ever been.
Good.
Well, I can tell you this, though. The previous 18 months weren't your easiest rodeo, but right now you're into a whole new cycle, so I can understand where you feel like I'm on a smoother road now, or I've got a clearer path. You're on a brand new cycle, so it's like really putting rocket fuel into your engine.
Yeah,
so that you can move forward.
About 18 months ago, about a year ago, I talked to God and I said, I'm not doing that anymore. This is what I want. Give it to me. And bam, everything started moving in that direction. And I've been letting go of attitudes that I've had about my own self-worth. And because I moved those out of my focus or my vision or whatever you want to call it, I'm attracting the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going up the ladder.
Good.
Right. I believe in the affirmation of I love myself, I forgive myself, and I totally and completely accept myself. That is really where you have to, no school teaches you to love yourself. first.
No, but I've always had that part fine. What I didn't have was the self-worth when it came with what I was worth financially out there in the world because of my talents, and everybody would always say that you had such great talent, and then I would be afraid to ask for more money, see? And now I'm not afraid to ask, and now I'm getting it. So that's what I mean.
Well, one of the lessons in your soul path is you have to figure out what you deserve, period.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense, but I would say, okay, I'll let it slide. I'll drop it a little. I'll drop the price a little. I'll drop this a little. And then I would feel horrible, and I said, no, you're on the wrong direction. Get back up there. Because I'm always talking to myself, you know.
Well,
good for you. I think that's very important to know what your worth is, don't you, Joanne? I really do.
Absolutely.
What you deserve.
Absolutely, what you deserve. And I preach that almost every single day as I'm doing my readings, because no school will say to you, let's get a piece of paper out, and what do you deserve? Nobody does that. No teacher has done that for me until I met my spiritual teacher many years ago. Her asking me, what did I deserve? Wow, it just blew my doors off.
Yeah. Do you see anything coming up for a relationship for me?
Based
on my numbers?
I feel that this would be a very good year for you to, well, first of all, you got to know what your boundaries are, what you like and what you don't like, or what's acceptable and what's not acceptable.
Yes.
So I think you've already figured out the part. I have what they call a non-negotiable list, so that I don't have to worry about having you can't have rose-colored glasses on, which I don't think you do at this point.
No.
What you see is what you get. So don't try to fix, what you see is what you get. So you can't have love unless you have three things: trust, respect, and communication. That's what makes a solid, healthy relationship. And so it takes time. Trust takes time. Respect is a two-way street because you can't lose self-respect and respect the other person.
Right.
And communication, to me, communication is the breakfast of champions. So I feel really good. When we get towards the fall, I feel like you're really home free. I think you've cleared your path out here. In the summer, I want you to be careful of nobody taking advantage of your kindness, or that they try to manipulate you. No, the answer would be no.
From me.
Good job.
Them. No, thank you. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
I get it. Okay.
Right.
Thank you for that, and thanks for all the affirmations and the communication.
Thank you for calling in, Eileen. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'll keep listening.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Our next caller is area code 954. Welcome.
Yes, hi. Hi, thank you.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Good, thank you. Do you want to give Joanne your birth name and your date of birth?
Certainly. My name is Sharon, Sharon, and my date of birth is 4/16/1955.
It's really funny when I do this work, how some numbers will pop up that are the same in a segment. And I really feel like, Sharon, you're very strong. You're definitely a leader, not a follower. Is that correct?
Pretty much, yeah. I try to be.
But emotionally, you're a stuffer, so that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
I'm stubborn, you mean?
No, emotionally, you stuff your feelings. Your
yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, honey, do you want to wind up with stomach problems? Because that's what happens to stuffers.
Mm-hmm.
Stomach problems, intestinal problems, colon problems. You have to learn to talk in I statements. In other words, let me give you an example. When that was said, I was hurt. When that happened, I was embarrassed. When you stand in your I, you stay strong. Do you understand? And there's no fight when you say I. See, because if you and I are having a discussion and I go you, we're going to fight. But if we're talking in I statements, it's a discussion. Do you understand?
Right.
And that would be your best bet for you. Now, in your previous lifetime, and it's really funny because it came up in the previous caller, in one of your lifetimes, alcohol or drugs was a problem. So in this lifetime, how are you handling that? Or the people that revolve around you, how are you handling that?
Well, I'm coming up on 38 years sobriety, so yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. With alcohol, not drugs. No.
Mhm.
Okay. But I have to tell you this, Sharon, it took you out in your last life. So congratulations, you overcame it. You completed your blueprint.
Mm.
That was a big stumbling block in your chart.
Wow. Mm.
So my hat is off to you tremendously.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me compute here, okay, for a second. I got a 2. 9. Really, now you're in a great cycle for really putting your feet on the ground and setting your goals and going for it. This is all about finding your joy and not worrying about guilt or fear or hurting anybody else's feelings. You got to go forward.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely makes sense.
I feel like you've got either a trip or a long weekend or something that's going to be really rejuvenating for you. And I feel like that is going to be the theme this year. There might be more than one trip, maybe 2 trips. Are you in the planning stage?
Well, I'm thinking about it. I went on vacation last year to Italy and UK, and I'm thinking about this year, maybe making a trip to Greece. I'm not sure if it's going to come to fruition, but I'm thinking about it.
Well, I think you need to. Well, I feel like in April, May, and June, you may be giving more thought to that because I do feel that it's either the summer or early fall that I feel that you're going to take a trip. But financially, I feel things are better for you this year, and it's even going to get better in the fall. So I don't know if there's dividends or some sort of investment or whatever, but it does look very positive here.
That's a good thing.
Sharon, do you have 2 children or 2 pregnancies?
I do have 2 children, correct, yes.
Okay, that's what I see in your chart. Okie dokie. Also, too, I know that you like to be a planner. Is that correct? You like to plan everything? It's got to be scheduled.
Yeah, I do try in my head to, plan, my steps a little bit ahead, so that I can have some sort of a,
I would suggest out of your head and onto paper.
Yeah.
Because you know what happens when it's in your head? You procrastinate, honey.
Right. That's the truth. That's very true.
That is the truth. Very much so.
You know when Carolan says that I will zero in on your, because I'm reading your soul, honey. It's not, it's right here in front of me. So my gift is like a download from heaven. So when I say these things to you, it's in the most positive light, even if it may be a stumbling block at this, it's somebody's path or whatever. But I definitely feel that procrastination is not your friend, and living in your head too much is not your friend. So I would say start writing down things and get out of your head. Do the pros and the cons. Draw a line down the paper, the center of the paper, pros on one side, cons on the other. Make a decision.
Right. I have a son. Do you see him? He's going for his PhD, but both my children have no luck in their relationships. I was wondering if do you see anything,
But it's your son's birthday, honey. I can't do it unless I have his birthday.
Yeah, I know. That's true. Oh, well, my son is 22086, and his name is Andrew.
Okay. Andrew. Okay. Well, Andrew doesn't like drama, and Andrew doesn't like to fight. So until he can get straight in his head here that relationships take that communication, you can't, you can't do it or ignore it. And that's what he loves to do is let's bypass it because I don't want to address it.
Yeah.
And that's where he gets into trouble. And he's not a great emotional communicator. I mean, if I was talking to Andrew, we'd have some serious talks here.
Yes, you would.
Because I will tell you this, and Carolan will know that I'm a straight shooter, and I would tell him that being in a relationship is like operating by radar. So can a plane fly without the radar? No. Can a relationship work without? No. And that is Andrew's problem.
Yeah, and he's a rescuer. He takes in like people that just, and he tries to rescue, and he's a fixer. But anyway, that's a chapter of another book. But I'm very surprised that I'm not really surprised that alcohol took me out in another lifetime. It doesn't surprise me at all because it almost took me out in this one. So I'm glad that
Yes, I understand that, sweetheart. But you know what? It was easier for you to have the choice to conquer it or to let it eat you up again. So you made that decision when you were up in heaven. As far as Andrew goes, I feel that this is a year for him to really, it's all about studying. It's all about, completion and that type of thing. I do feel that by fall, he's going to be a much happier camper. I'd love to talk to him because I definitely would have to work on this rescue business because that is setting oneself up for misery.
Sounds like Andrew needs to book an appointment, Joanne. That's what it sounds like to me.
I really think so.
Yeah.
And me as well.
Well, please reach out to Joanne at her website or her phone number. Which is, let me give you that. It is 727-743-3400 or psychicjoanneleo.com. Thank you, Sharon, for calling in.
Thank you so much. Many blessings. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Joanne, let me ask you something about myself.
Okay.
Let me ask you. What does, since I could have taken that whole reading about procrastination, blah, 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 I could have done that. I felt like, oh, my God, she's talking to me. And I do put things down on paper. I'm much better since you have coached me. So things are coming to fruition. What does this summer and fall look like for me?
Okay,
I don't know, financially, whatever.
I happen to know your birthday, so.
Yes.
Okay, let's see here. 7, 3. Oh, well, God, I love this. All right, I'm just going to tell you something. So I know January, February, March, looking at your numbers only, not what I know, okay?
Right.
So I just want to know this is psychic that I'm talking to you, psychically. So January, February, March, it's like so much action and delay and frustration, okay?
Mm-hmm.
But now when we get into April, May, and June, it's all about balance. It's all about your spiritual work. It's all about organizing things and putting things in order.
Okay? Good, yes.
April, May, and June. When we hit July, August, September, all the way through year end, I am telling you between your creativity, and that's through voice, it may be you starting to write. It's also about teaching. And the money will be much more beneficial by year end. So all your little benchmarks are going to pay off. So financially, and I know that you make big changes because when we go from our corporate world to, just doing our spiritual work and being retired, it's a different ball game. It's a different spin on things.
Right.
So by year end, it's gonna be much more prosperous, and it's going to be much more. You're going to feel more secure.
Great.
Because I really feel like it's like I've had to do these little benchmarks, and I move forward, and then I move back, and then I move forward, and then I move back. That's all going to change.
Oh, great. That's
so
super.
fun.
Thank you so much. That's what I was hoping for. Thank you very much for sliding me in here. Let me see. We've got people queuing up, so I don't want to indulge. Thank you for indulging me. We have, who is our next caller? Let's see. Let me see what happens here. I think we have a couple queuing up. I'll wait for Tiffany to help us there. Thank you. Oh, here. She has 502. We just did that one. That was Sharon, and she says, I think we did. No, we didn't. We just did 950. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Area code 502. My fault. Sorry, audience. Sorry, listeners. Thank you, Joanne, for letting me get that little mini reading. 502, area code. Are you there?
Hello?
Hi, thanks for
Hello?
waiting. I'm sorry I messed up. I didn't realize you were there.
Oh, that's okay. Thank you. I've never done this before, so don't really know what I'm doing.
Me either. We're all new. Well, Joanne's not new at this. She's a radio personality, but I'm rather new at it. Give Joanne if you care to, your name and your date of birth, and that she'll be able to work with that.
Sure. My name is Cynthia Gray, and my birthday is 8/20/1976.
Oh, well, I'm the 21st of August.
Awesome.
Isn't it?
A Leo.
I am Joanne Leo, but that's me. Okay. Well, Cynthia, do you always follow your gut feeling, honey?
I would say, I guess I try. I don't know. I'm very, I'm always right about people, or at least I always think I'm right. Always seem to be.
Well, what I mean by your gut feeling, like, I'll give you a scenario. You're driving the car, your GPS turns left, but your gut says, turn right, Cynthia. Who are you going to follow, the GPS or your gut?
Probably the GPS.
Well, my thing to you is that it's like a spiritual gift that you brought with you with your little soul in this lifetime. So if I were you, I would turn right because your GPS doesn't know what your gut knows. Your gut might have sensed, there might have been a pedestrian causing a debacle when you turned left, or maybe a car was out of control, or something.
Yes, ma'am.
So
I always
I'm just trying to give you
myself,
an idea.
always.
Oh, okay.
What, hon? What'd you say?
I said I always second question myself. Always, I'm always a worrywart. Always afraid of, making the wrong decision. Think too much into things. Always trying to fix everybody else and fix the world, and my life goes to shit in the process.
Well,
I think we're familiar with that scenario here.
Yeah. Cynthia, I have to tell you, fixers, when you're fixing everybody else, believe me,
yes,
all your fixing and all your energy isn't going to work because they're not doing it. You're doing it. But you're going to wind up being a victim of trying to help everybody else. So forget that.
yes,
Here's what I would suggest. What I would suggest that you do is that you give a suggestion. You tell them you might want to research. You might want to consider this information. You take your hands off and you say, I'm sure you'll figure it out. I don't know what that might be.
Thank you. Do you see, I don't even know if this is such a thing, but any kids in my future or conceiving or...
I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. What?
Do you see any children in my future anymore, or any?
I see three. I see 3 pregnancies. Have you had 3 pregnancies?
I have 2. I've had two
Okay,
baby girls.
Well, there's a third. I see a third.
There's a third. That's amazing.
Unless you had a miscarriage, but I see a third pregnancy.
Yeah, no, I've never had a miscarriage. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and that's it. So that's just been on my mind. And my friend did. She had thought the same thing. So I just wanted to see what you thought.
Well, that's what I see here. I think the thing is that you've got to stop fixing, and you just got to start making suggestions and say to the people that are trying to have you fix everything, say, I'm sure you'll figure it out. You have to work on zoning in on taking care of yourself and setting up good morals and good directions for your children. That's where your priority needs to be here, and work on your relationship.
Yes. Do you show anyone? I've had like recent deaths in the family. Do you show? I don't know how to say it. Like them trying to tell me something, or them. It's a rough month for me. My dad will be 6 years this month. My mom will be 2 years this month, and it's just been on my mind a lot. And I'm a single mom. And I don't want to disappoint them. Far and foremost, don't want to disappoint my kids. I do the best I can, but it's like I wish in so many ways I would get some kind of
Would
sign.
this be my cue to jump in?
Absolutely, because it's not my daily work. No.
Okay. So you're both your parents are deceased. Your father was what, 6 years? Your mother was 2 years?
Yes, this month. Yes.
Okay. Was your father a handsome man? Like I see someone.
Yes.
I don't know if he had facial hair, if he had a mustache or something, but I feel like a cologne or Florida water or something that always made him smell debonair. Would you understand that? A handsome gentleman.
Yes, he's from Boston, Massachusetts. Everybody that ever met him loved him. Mother, full-blooded Portuguese. Very handsome. Very, very handsome.
Okay. So he is here with you, and I'm talking about, he's got some kind of message here. He's showing me pearls for some reason. So I'll get back to that. Your mom, well, she's, she's she's a lady. Would that make sense to you?
Yes.
I feel a lady, and I feel she's the kind of lady that wore like talcum powder or had a scent as well. Like you could, and I think it's in your home. There's a whiff of this powdery smell.
Yes,
like
she wears those silk nightgowns I constantly wear. I constantly keep them. I still smell her on them.
Oh, okay. And what's the smell that you get? What is the smell that you're smelling?
Well, she stayed so young, never aged, and she always just said she just washed her face with water and put lotion on every night, every morning, lotion, every night, every morning, every night.
Okay.
So whatever it is that she used, it consumed her, and yes.
Okay. So, good. Okay. So we have both of these, your parents here, lovely people, a very spiritual essence around you, like a bubble, and they're like, the message that I kind of get in the pearls, it seems to me like pearls of wisdom or a gem for you, that you are a gem, that you are worthy. Pearls are worth, have a certain worth, and you have a certain worth. And they are worth what they are because they go through that, almost like a diamond in the rough. They go through the sand with the, I guess they're found in a mussel or a clam or whatever. And they go through that whole process in that clam for a reason, and they come out as a beautiful pearl. So everything in your life, to me, the grit, the sandy bits, the muddy bits, the seaweed, all of that garbage that goes around has made you the beautiful pearl that you are. So don't ever forget that. And your mother says that as well. All right, so I get the praying hands for you, so just to let you know, they're praying for you. Okay, God bless, sweetheart.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, doll. Okay, so we have area code 267.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hi. Good. How are you? Thanks for
Good,
taking my call.
good. You're welcome.
My name is Crystal, and my date of birth is 7/15/1983.
Okay. All right. So you're really sensitive, huh, Crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. You really need to really pay attention because you can tend to have rose-colored glasses when it comes to people. Is that correct?
At points, certain people I'm close to, yeah.
Well, when I say rose-colored glasses, in other words, you're not seeing if it's good for you or not good for you, or healthy for you, not healthy for you. You just, let me fix you, let me make it nice, let me overlook that, when really it could be not be in your best interest. Do you understand?
Yes.
So do you do that?
Yeah,
rose-colored glasses?
Yeah, I've done that.
And that would be the worst trait to have. That would be the worst trait to employ if you want to be in a relationship.
Right.
And the reason I'm saying that is because you're not seeing what you're getting, because you think, oh, come with me, I can fix that, I can help you. I'll just, I'll look at some good points and I won't look at the pitfalls. And that's where you make your boo-boos, and then when you're hurt or you're devastated, it's because you didn't pay attention to your first glance of not making excuses for that individual. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So in order for you to have a healthy relationship, you must make better decisions and call it the way you see it, just like an umpire calls it's a ball, it's a strike, it's a single, double, triple, home run, safe. Okay? The same thing with people. Liar, cheater, leopard doesn't change its spots, honey. They'll say, oh, well, I've made mistakes in my past, but I learned my lesson. Oh, really? No, I don't think so. So they're going to come to you for you to fix their boo-boos? No. I'd say that would be a no. So you need to make a non-negotiable list of what's important to you. What traits do you really want in a healthy relationship? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely, yes.
Okay. I feel that, too, that you have a very strong part in coming up in your chart that you need to prepare yourself to be successful, but you've got to work hard. It's not going to come easy. Does that make sense?
Not yet.
What do you do?
Okay, go ahead.
What'd you say? I'm sorry.
I said no, but I've been really thinking hard as to where I want to go direction-wise. I don't know if I want to go back to school and get my MA or what I want to do exactly.
Okay. What's your degree in?
I don't have a degree. I'm just currently working in a hospital setting, but not as a medical assistant or, a nurse.
Okay. Well, first of all, you can't go for your MA, your master's degree, unless you have a bachelor's, correct? Do you have a bachelor's?
Well, my medical assisting, it's actually associate's degree, and then go for my associate's degree, and then I could go, forward.
Well, then, yes, you have to go for your bachelor's and then your master's. I would venture to say that you'd be very good at doing anything that has to do with like gastroenterology, anything that has to do with the heart. And I would definitely say that you need to go forward so that you can get like your nursing degree or a nurse practitioner's degree.
Yeah.
That's
for sure.
what I'd get.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree with that. Oh, I agree with everything Joanne says anyway, but I feel that for you as well, dear, because, you're very caring and you're very smart. And if you stay where you're at, you're going to be miserable.
Right.
Because you're going to be frustrated. You really have so much going for you. I'm sorry to butt in, but you really do. And if you look down, you make your plan now. You're still young from my interpretation of you. This is the time to do this. Don't procrastinate about it. because you'll regret it later. You're not going to be using your faculties, all your gifts, and you're certainly not going to make the money. So put the pedal to the metal is my advice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can I ask something?
I totally agree.
Sure, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, I'm 35, so I do have an 18-year-old who I happened to have when I was 18, but I'm actually pregnant. Well, he's 17. He'll be 18 in August. I'm actually pregnant now, and I'm having my second child in August. How do you see that coming for me?
Hold on a second.
You're going to be like, your baby's going to be like how I was. My oldest sister was 18 when I was born. Mm-hmm. And so that was, good. There's good and bad to that, but I'm sure she resented it a little bit.
It's strange because my son and the baby will be 18 years apart, and my due date is actually the same due date I had with him 18 years ago. Oh, my
goodness.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Are you having a girl?
I won't know until next week.
Okay, I think you're going to have a girl. But
really?
I could be 50% right, mm-hmm. Also, too, you got to watch your salt intake, swelling. And did you have a cesarean section before delivery before?
No.
Okay. There may be something that has to do with a procedure. So it could be cesarean. It could be not. It might be some testing. Are you doing any testing with this baby? Or?
Yeah, there's actually, because I'm considered high risk, and I was on a medication that they kept me on. So they're monitoring me closely, which is scary to me, but
well, I definitely would.
Yeah,
I would definitely be concerned with this is testing or monitoring or however you want to call it. I see that in your chart for this year. So I would be careful about that. And if you jotted down my number, you can call me and I can look at it more deeper.
Do you see the baby being healthy or do you see problems?
Let's see. I feel that the baby is going to be healthy. I just think that there's some issues with this medication, so you definitely have to be monitored. Something with medicine.
Okay.
And
precautionary, kind of precautionary, right?
Yeah, that's what we're doing because I'm very nervous myself. Like I would choose not to be on the medication, but I've been on it for so many years, and I didn't know I was pregnant until I was almost just past my first trimester. So the doctor suggested that I stay on it, but it makes me nervous. But I mean, all my testing so far has been okay. I guess I'm just uncomfortable because I've never looked at somebody taking a medication and pregnancy and had a good outlook, but I've never been in somebody else's shoes until now.
Well, if you've got good doctors and they know what they're doing, I think you're working unnecessarily here because the proof is in the pudding and the facts. So keep the testing up and stay in touch with your doctors. That's the most important thing.
Good luck to you, hon.
The relationship, thank you. Do you see the relationship with the baby's father working out in the right way? Because he was the one that I used to be very, let me fix this kind of thing. And for the last probably year, I've been just like, no. But I'm pregnant now, so.
What's his first name and what's his birthday?
Jerome, and he's 8/29/84.
Okay. Well, is he is he a real hard worker or is he on the lazy side?
He's a hard worker, very hard worker.
Okay, that's good. That is very good. Okay. In his soul chart, he's had commitment problems in the past. So I definitely think that it gets back to, if you were listening to the show earlier, you got to have those 3 ingredients: trust, respect, and communication. Communication is the breakfast of champions. And you've got to have that. And if the respect is self-respect, and I got a question mark on some of those 3 things. So what's the problem here?
It's just that
you don't trust them, or you don't respect them.
Oh, I don't trust him. But I tried at this point now. That's where I've tried to step back and just say, let me stop playing in my head. But then I just, I don't want to. I'm not causing arguments over it. I'm just seeing what's going on and just seeing his movement. And I know he's trying in a different way, but I don't want to. I'm just trying not to let it put a damper on me or my soul or what I'm doing on the daily. Just let it be how it's going to be.
Either he's responsible or he's not responsible. One of the two.
Right.
Okay? And if he's not responsible, you got a problem.
Right. That's one thing is I do see him. He's done so much change. We've been together for like 10 years off and on. So when the first couple of years, in between that is when I noticed those things about him that I didn't like. I know he has done so much growing up. I do see it. But I don't know.
Well, are you his lover? Are you his lover or his mother?
I knew you were going to say that. I don't mother him. I don't try to be like giving him advice with things that he's very hard to talk to. Like as far as like, it's hard for him to talk about situations. He's great to joke with and things like that. I know he'd be a great daddy as other kids.
Yeah, well, you know what? If you've been with the guy 10 years and he hasn't put a ring on your finger and made the vows or the promise, that's a problem. And, you need to think more of yourself and respect yourself of where your future is going to go when you're dealing with somebody who's non-committal.
Mhm.
As he's got children here and children there. Give me a break.
Yeah, he's got
he's got one other child that he actually has full time. I have to help him raise.
Well, I would look over your non-negotiables, right? And think about and we're praying for you and your child, and lots of luck to you.
Thank
you so much for giving us a call.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think we have might be able to slip one more in here, Joanne. What do you think?
Okay. Oh, I'm good.
Okay. We have another caller from area code 502, so we can do a brief reading for area code 502.
Hi.
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 My name is Melody, and my date of birth is July 3rd, 1986.
Okay, Melanie, spell your name for me. How do you spell it?
Melody.
Okay. All right. So we got a 4, 5, 3, 6, 4, 7. Okay. So do you drive yourself crazy with lists, or that you have to have everything planned and organized?
Do I drive myself crazy with looks, did you say? Having things.
Well, work and organization. It's like you have to have everything planned. Everything's got to be, you got a calendar for everything.
I'm not like that, but I am. That is actually my goal that I have recently set. So I've just started making lists and to prevent myself from being the procrastinator that I am.
Well, see, you're a procrastinator because it's because of your birthday, but your name is saying, I want structure, I want security, I want organization.
I do want that, yes.
Okay, I understand, but you got to stop living in your head so much, Melanie. Okay? Stop. When you live in your head, no wonder you procrastinate. You got to get out of your head, and I'm sure you heard me say before, that you got to get out a piece of paper, draw the line down, pros and cons, because you will drive yourself crazy. And you can't keep track of it when it's in your head if it's good or bad, or good for you or not good for you, healthy for you, not healthy for you. Okay? And you can't, you got to, you've got to finish things. You've got this going, that going, and you got to finish one and then start the other.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, I'm very ADD. If I'm cleaning the kitchen, I will go to the bathroom and start on the bathroom before I finish cleaning the kitchen.
Right.
I do that.
Very bad. Very bad.
But in your chart, you've just got to be, when you start in the bathroom, say, nope, I got to go back to the kitchen or whatever.
Exactly.
So that you can conquer this. You say, because it is your challenge. It's in your birth date here. As far as this year, this is all about structure, security, foundation. Are you doing any decorating or renovations in your house?
Yes.
Because that's what's going on this year here. It's about where you live.
Sorry.
It's about
there's decorating, rearranging, and kind of getting rid of old things. And so, yes, all of that applies.
Melody, are you in my house?
No.
I'm doing the same thing she does. I'm cleaning this, unpacking that. I feel decorating. I get distracted. I'm with you, so I'm going to listen very closely to this.
But I really feel that if you really make these changes and also get out of your head of trying to organize in your head, it doesn't compute, honey, until you put it on paper.
Okay.
So in other words, you might want to make a weekly goal or a monthly goal and write it down. Okay, this week I'm going to accomplish one room, whatever.
Yes.
Then you might want to have a 3-month goal. Okay, by 3 months I would like to have, an organizational of what I'm doing in each room. In other words, I'm going to reorganize. But within 3 months you should have, if you do one room a week, in 3 months you should be halfway better than where you are right now.
Yes. I'm not sure if either of you have heard of the Fly Lady. She is an author, and she specializes in organizing. So I've been reading a lot up on her, and it's amazing some of the stuff that you would think would be like duh to me, it would be common sense, but things that she says are just so helpful. And so like I said, that's the Fly Lady.
The Fly.
The Fly? The Fly.
FLY. The Fly Lady.
Okay.
Oh.
Like the fly on the wall.
She'll tell you to take, like a fly on the wall. She'll tell you to get a basket and go into each room and pick everything up, and then you go into the room that it belongs to, and, things like that. So small term, weekly goals are what I'm starting off with. And then I think I will move to the long-term goals. Yeah.
So that's why I was saying in 3 months you're going to be in better shape than you are right now.
Good.
Thank you so much for calling in about that and for passing on that information. We're almost at the end of our hour. Thank you so much for calling in. We still have callers on queue. Unfortunately, we didn't get to all of you. Thank you for calling in, dear.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome. We still have some callers left. We will get to you next time. I apologize. But as soon as everyone here is Psychic Joanne Leo is going to be on, here it is, flylady.net, FLYLADY.net from my producer. Isn't she the best? Thank you, Tiffany. Thank you very much, callers, for calling in. And I just wanted to let you know, as soon as everyone hears Psychic Joanne Leo is on, the switchboard is very busy, so we could not get to everyone. Joanne, thank you so much for being with us tonight, and thank you, listeners. Don't forget, March 30th, Sarasota Center of Light, private readings, Psychic Joanne Leo. Please book your appointment now, 941-779-3971. Thank you, everyone. Good night.